You never see them being punished, being suspended. It's simply because, next slide, it's simply because we tend to shield each other. The engineering field, architects, surveyors, lawyers, accountants, is called a profession. It's a profession because it has to adhere to a certain minimum standard of code of ethics. That's why it's a profession, it's not any other field. And especially engineers, architects, surveyors, we deal with human life. Ubanga design a bridge, ekokoloka. Kalonga, we saw people dying because bridge nakokoloka. We have seen buildings collapsing, certified by architects, certified by structural engineers. No one gets punished. No one gets punished. Koma lawyer akangoja ndrama ya client, sana pay muntu yai 3-year suspension. Wango batu. Sana pay, no one has died. People have died on roads because of road accidents, for potholes. I would say drum holes. No one gets punished. I remember my friend Alfred in Hema, works for NBS Bank. His Merc got damaged because of a pothole. He tried to sue RA and the like, nothing worked. But I felt sorry for him because his car was roadworthy. The road was not car-worthy. So we in the construction sector, we tend to defend each other. We tend to shield each other. Next slide, please. So I have to use. Now, I'll give an example. This is the Sanje Marka Road. By that time, I used to work for China Railway as a consultant. It's the contractor who built that road. Now, I'll give you a background. Kunabwera cyclone. Inakokora bridge, nse uchanchani. The social media was awash kutukwa na Chinese contractor. Umalemba kutukwa na zindizi. But I knew the truth. So I wrote a detailed sequence of events. But because by that time, maybe Facebook page, I sent Kenani, Kenani, Switzerland. Can you post this? And I want people to answer these questions. That post changed the whole narrative. And the blame shifted from the contractor to roads authority and the consultant. Are we together? Because the contractor implements a design prepared by a consulting engineer, approved by the client roads authority. Of course, he has the responsibility of checking the design. Now, because of public pressure, Malawi Institute of Engineers instituted an investigation as what happened. It's 4 years down the line. The report is Siguturuka. I was interviewed. I gave my side of story. Consulting engineer was interviewed. The client was interviewed. But because I know much of the blame went to us as engineers, we have shielded each other to date. And the public is having a poor road at the end of the day. Now, I'm speaking this on authority because I was involved on that project. Transport Minister Hala speaks on poor workmanship on Sanje Marka Road construction. It's a failed project. Government concedes it has failed Malawians on Sanje Marka Road construction. It's in the daily papers. But no one holds an engineer, an architect, or a surveyor to account for whatever they have done. Now I had to tell Kenani everything. And that changed the whole narrative because the contractor now had to speak with, this is what were these proposals we gave, but we were shot down on many other ways. But it changed the whole narrative and the issue. According to contract, would have been punished, blah, blah, blah. But because the engineer, we defend each other. That's why we have poor infrastructure in our country. And I say that with no regrets or conflict in mind, because I know what I'm talking about. Can we go to the next slide? You see, when you go to the south, top African countries with quality roads, number one is Namibia. It's number one in Africa. It scored 5.2 on the parameters used for measuring that. And number 23 in the world, beating some European countries. Number two, South Africa. And Namibia has maintained that for the past 18 years. Same with South Africa. Number three, Rwanda. Number four, Cote d'Ivoire. Number five, Mauritius. Then Morocco, Kenya, Botswana, Cape Verde, then Senegal. Now, out of these 10, 4 are within SADC. Within SADC. And they've made it in the top 10 in Africa and top 45 worldwide. Now, when I was doing this research, I found that 7 of those have effective code of ethics and punitive measures which are prosecutable. And the bottom 15, where Malawi is, no code of ethics, no punitive measures, we are nothing prosecutorial. Could be taken into court for poor workmanship. Now, I concluded that the effectiveness of code of ethics and punitive measures for their architects, their engineers and surveyors in those countries is what leads to good quality roads. And an availability of that in countries like Malawi leads to what we have on our roads. Poor infrastructure roads, talk of buildings, even Maunegeda Nyumba, design. We go to design many. Was it an architect who designed this building? No code of ethics, no standards. Yet someone goes at the end of the month, withdraws money per ATM, thinking he has earned a living. He's just getting paid a salary, not earning it, because we don't do the right work. There's a difference, getting paid a salary and earning a salary. Others earn their salary, others get paid a salary. Next slide. Now, this is out of curiosity. It was part of my research, just my curiosity. You see, the funny part about Malawi is, in Malawi we do things, and that talk Peter Ugu, if you know, we are Malawians who go this way. Oh, nife manyasa ngati manyasa band. You see, you find that you go to MHC, Branta Water Board, Long Water Board, Southern Water Board, Northern Water Board, Roads Authority. These are clients that issue construction work. You find that the project engineers are not registered. The architects of the corporation are not registered. The surveyors are not registered. But they supervise work designed by engineer Paul Kulemeka, who is a professional registered engineer with extensive work. Apanga supervised by Munhuankulu. You respect him in the field? You know, I don't think a 2-year, like a graduate, at 2 years, and I'm a question where you make. Never, it can't happen. Even my work, you can't. Who are you? You're a college. Panga kalapansi. That's a fact. Someone whom you respect and look up to in the profession. How can you check their work? You can't do that. And that is one of the bases of poor infrastructure in our country. It's high time Malawi Institute of Engineers, Malawi Institute of Architects, Malawi Institute of Surveyors, we started engaging these people who could never employ a project engineer, a project architect or surveyor who is not registered. In law terms, in no way a lawyer who is admitted to the bar can be supervised by a lawyer who is admitted to the bar. Can't happen. It doesn't happen. But in our profession, we allow it. I always say this. In Malawi, we tend to praise and worship mediocrity. We praise and worship mediocrity, especially in the construction industry. Ngati kuli industry yauve kwambiri ndi yanga ya construction. I remember when I was in Botswana, I was trying to get registered with the engineering, the ERB of Botswana. They are so strict. They want to see the CVs of your lecturers. I had to ask for my CV in Dr. Fares, Dan Fedes Mwale, Aina Kochawa, Engineer Ngoma. I had to go for their CVs. They want to see what is he a registered engineer. All right? Now, if your lecturer is not registered, most of them, or architect, registered architect or surveyor, they won't allow you to be registered. It's happening within SADC region. And in no way someone can be a lecturer without practicing for 15 years minimum. Can the architect, can the surveyor, that's a fact. I'm talking of what is Ujidika within SADC region. Koma kunogo wankuza ndi tisiyo degree pa. I didn't, you know this is the truth, yeah? Kuti wankuza ndi dinki pa. But still master's degree ni lecturer. Without any practical, my kumarunamangad. Our architect. Wango dinkura pa and lecturer. You haven't been on site, you don't know the dynamics on site, and you come to teach people about engineering, about architectural work, about surveying work. I'm trying to joggle our minds as far as our industry is concerned. These are things we need to be, I'll share this afterwards, the presentation and the actual work that I did, but I want us to have an understanding of where things have gone wrong, why we have got poor roads and buildings in our country. Do you know Zigoma? Next slide. You know, because we worship and praise mediocrity, we don't even know who our heroes and our celebrities are. And opanga pokos for social media, they are celebrities in Malawi. You know that, huh? Social media noisemakers in Malawi, they are celebrities. They are heroes because that's part of mediocrity that we worship in our country. Now, from whatever is happening in the industry, and again, work that's been done in terms of research and everything, there is a gap between the theoretical aspects of on code of ethics and the practical aspect of it. And again, what I did was trying to evaluate the effectiveness of the code of ethics in our industry, engineering industry, construction industry. So, you see, ethics are part of a system, are like a system. You don't see ethics because they're not tangible. It's a soft part of the construction industry. What you see is a road, a bridge, a building, a port, an airport, a railway. You see that. But ethics, you won't see that. You still need ethics. Are we together? Now,